Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Sharwan and you are watching India's by Sharwan. So earlier we have discussed about the India's 109, which is a financial instrument, and we have covered in detail about the each and every single chapter of that India. So it was really interesting, India's most complex Indias of all time, and we also discuss it in detail. So this time we will discuss about the India's one, which is the presentation of financial statement. So this is basically the first Indias we can say, and you should know about this Indias in detail, you can say. So we will discuss about Ind AS 1 here in this video. So before to start the video, I wanted to tell you like how we can educate about this Indias. So this Indias is, you can say, very long Indias. So I'm not going to give you in detail about every single paras of this India. So I'm going to tell you about the quick overview so that you can get the idea like what exactly is in this Indias. And if you have any query regarding those, so you can ask me on the comment section. Alright guys, so now first we should start about the overview, like how is the structure of this Indias. So you can see right now into your screen there is a like content in which there is a lot of paragraphs and like paragraph number, and also the heading of the paragraph is mentioned. So this Indias is basically is like this, like first paragraph is about the objective, so it defines like what exactly is the objective of this Indias, then the scope, then definition, then the important and major segment of this Indias is the financial instrument statement, which is the heading of, and this one is covered into paragraph number 9 to 46. So paragraph number 9 to 46 majorly cover with the financial statement. So under this major heading there is a subheading which is like the purpose of financial statement, complete set of financial statement, journal features, and in the journal features there are also a lot of sub paragraphs. So purpose of financial statement, so this Indias also give you the purpose of financial statement, like what exactly is the purpose, then what exactly is the complete set of financial statement, like balance sheet, profit and loss account, other comprehensive income, statement of change in equity, cash flow statement, significant accounting policy, etc. And then the journal feature like the going concern, accrual basis, materiality and aggregations, offsetting, frequency of reporting. So you can now basically think like this Indias will give you the like presentation also, and also what exactly is the complete set of financial statement, purpose of financial statement. So earlier we have like framework for preparation and presentation of financial statement. So all these type of thing like accrual basis, materiality, offsetting, going concern was defined in the framework, but in Ind AS those type of a thing itself explained in detail in Ind AS 1. So that is a major difference between the Ind AS and earlier accounting standard number 1, which is the disclosure of accounting policy. So disclosure of accounting policy, accounting standard number 1 was very simple and very brief. So but Ind AS 1 is very extensively large, in which it cover in detail about every single thing in the financial statement. And just let's take a look at the second segment, which is the structure and content. So this thing is covered in paragraph number 47 to 138. So under this heading there is a lot of subheading like introduction, identification of financial statement, balance sheet, and then in balance sheet there is also subheading like information to be presented in the balance sheet, current, non-current, distinction, current asset, liabilities, like in this also current and non-current definition is also itself given in the Ind AS 1. So earlier we have schedule 3 in which the definition of current and non-current was given, but under Ind AS 1 the definition of current and non-current is itself provided in Ind AS 1. So that is a very extensive Ind AS, and all the thing is itself given in this Ind AS. And also like what should be the content of the balance sheet and what exactly should be the item which should be mentioned into the balance sheet is also given into like information to be presented in the balance sheet. And then the second segment is like statement of profit or loss, so extensively given in detail like information to be presented in the statement of profit or loss, then profit or loss for the period, other comprehensive income for the period. So this is a new term which is other comprehensive income. So other comprehensive income is basically a statement in which only the few thing will be given, only the few thing, and we will discuss it in detail like what exactly is the thing in our separate video, but basically only the few thing will be mentioned into other comprehensive income. So don't need to worry like what exactly is other comprehensive income, and you also don't need to take a panic attack like there is another statement which is very complex. No, that is very simple, and almost only few thing will be given into other comprehensive income. Then the statement of change in equity, statement of cash flow, and then the most important thing of this Ind AS, which is the notes. So in the notes there is also subheading like a structure of note, disclosure of accounting policy. So you can say now disclosure of accounting policy is just a sub paragraph of this Ind AS. So earlier we have the AS accounting standard 1, which is just the disclosure of accounting policy, but in this Ind AS, disclosure of accounting policy is just a small minor part of this Ind AS. So you can now see that what exactly is the difference. There cannot be comparison between the Ind AS 1 and existing accounting standard 1. So now, and then the source of estimation, uncertainty, capital, putable financial instrument classified as equity, and other disclosure. So lot of disclosure is there into this Ind AS 1. So now you can see what exactly is the overview of this Ind AS. Lot of detail is there in this Ind AS, you can see it. But basically what was earlier into the framework for presentation and preparation of financial statement, all those things is just put into the Ind AS 1 now. And the major difference is also like current and non-current distinction is also given into this Ind AS 1. And if you want to take a look at the what exactly are the disclosure requirement which is given into the Ind AS, then paragraph number 117, 122 and 125 is very important if you want to take a look at what exactly are the disclosure requirement of this Ind AS. So paragraph number 117 says that an entity shall disclose in the summary of significant accounting policy first the management basis used in the preparing the financial statement and the other accounting policies used that are relevant to the understanding of the financial statement. So earlier under the accounting standard number 1, the only thing which was mentioned is like what has now given into clause number B of paragraph number 117. So just only the few thing was given under earlier accounting standard 1. Like under earlier accounting standard 1, this is like simply you have to disclose accounting policy into the one places so that the user can get the idea. But here is just a part of this standard, is a huge standard. All the thing is itself mentioned into this Ind AS. Now paragraph number 122 is very interesting, and it says like an entity shall disclose in the summary of significant accounting policy or other notes the judgment apart from those involving estimation that management has made in the process of applying the entity's accounting policy and that have the most significant effect on the amount recognized in the financial statement. So this is very you can say major changes in the earlier accounting standard 1 and in this Ind AS 1. So management has to also disclose the judgment which they use and which is the most significant effect on the amount which is recognized in the financial statement. Very huge you can say major differences into the Ind AS and existing accounting standard 1. So now management has to also disclose the judgment which they make while framing or drafting the financial statement. Then paragraph number 125 also says you something. It says an entity shall disclose information about the assumption it makes about the future and other major source of estimation uncertainty at the end of the reporting period that have significant risk of resulting in a material adjustment to the carrying amount of the asset and liability within the next financial year. In respect of those assets and liability, the notes shall include the detail of the nature and their carrying amount as at the end of the reporting period. So under earlier existing accounting standard 1, there were no such disclosure, but in this major disclosure is there. The management also have to give you the assumption, because management assume a lot of things while preparing the balance sheet. So management has to also give the disclosure of the assumption which it makes, and what kind of assumption, like which have the significant risk of resulting in material adjustment to the carrying amount of the asset or liability. A major disclosure required under Ind AS 1. So now management has to also disclose assumption it makes for claiming the balance sheet or profit loss account. So major thing is there, go check it out, all the Ind AS 1. If you have any query, then ask me on the comment section. I will reply it by way of a separate video. And now you can see that under Ind AS 1, all the non-current and current items like definition is itself given into the Ind AS 1, and also what should be the content of balance sheet and profit and loss account is also given under Ind AS 1. So what about the schedule 3, whether there is any change in the schedule 3? So I will say you, yes, there is a major change in the schedule 3. All the earlier schedule 3 has now been revised by way of a notification number GSR 404 bracket E, which is dated 6 April 2016. So by way of this notification by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, the earlier schedule 3 has now been revised, completely revised, and you can say new schedule 3 is there with us. You can check it out. Link of the schedule 3 and link of the Ind AS 1 is also given in the description. You can check it out. Major changes in there. And if you want to know like how the balance sheet will look like now onward, so I have also shared with you in the link the balance sheet, you can say quarterly result of the Reliance Industries. So you can check it out, what exactly is the form of balance sheet and profit and loss account which now will result while applying the Ind AS 1. So the link of the quarterly result of the Reliance Industries is in the description. You can check it out. Because we don't have any annual report right now, because the Ind AS is applicable in India with effect from 1st April 2017. So this is the first financial year in which the company will adopt the Ind AS. So obviously we don't have any annual report till now, but we have the quarterly result or half yearly result, so we can get the idea like what exactly is the balance sheet, profit and loss account, other comprehensive income looks like. We don't have any notes right now, because you can say now you can see that in notes will be there into the annual report. So when we will have the annual report, then we will also break it down the notes into our understanding, like how we have to interpret it. So till now just give the idea by way of a quarterly result of the Reliance Industries. You can check it out. If you have any query, then ask me on the comment section. I will reply by way of a separate video. So this was the overview of Ind AS 1. So I think that would be really helpful to you. There cannot be any comparison between the Ind AS 1 and the earlier accounting standard 1, because earlier accounting standard 1 was very little in compared to Ind AS 1. But if you want to know about the major changes between the other existing accounting standard and now the Ind AS, then I will recommend to you to buy this book, which is the name is Indian Accounting Standard, an overview by the ICAI. So where into the page number, I will say you like page number 129. In page number 129 you will see the major difference between the earlier accounting standard and now Ind AS. So I will highly recommend you to buy this book. So it is like the Indian Accounting Standard, an overview by the ICAI. So you will get a better idea what is the difference between, and I will also read it out the difference with this book, because I will not going to tell you all the things what is written in the Ind AS, because whatever was the major changes between the Ind AS and the existing accounting standard, I will just give you the idea about it, so that you can also better educate you about the Ind AS. Alright guys, so I think this video would be helpful to you. So if you have the friend who also want to educate about the Ind AS, then share this video to those type of person, and if you like the content, then give the big video a big thumbs up. Also carry on the comment section, subscribe to the channel if you're watching it and haven't subscribed yet. Alright guys, so now we will meet again in the next video. Till then, bye bye.